Configuring WSUS with SCCM. This is part 8 of SCCM Home Lab series that I started a while ago. In order for you to complete this part, you must watch part 3 of this series, because there are some prerequisites that needs to be installed for you to complete this part. In this video, I'm going to configure WSUS on SCCM, and I'll show you how to do that step by step. Then I'm going to validate the install logs, and once it's successful, then I'm going to sync the software updates, and I will show you how to do that step by step too. And then finally, I'm going to validate all of those software updates that they are in sync by looking into the logs, and even we'll look into SCCM console too. If you are new to my channel, I am Bibi, a software engineer. I love to share the knowledge. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe so that you can get all of the feature videos that I'll be posting. Beside these SCCM videos, I'm going to be posting many more videos regarding software packaging, Microsoft Windows imaging, and as you could see probably that there are some more videos that are going to be focused on iPhone and those kind of things too. So let's get started. Alright, so here I'm gonna log into my SCCM machine, which is SCCM 01. My awesome password. Yeah, there is one thing actually I'm just going to add here too, that right now whenever I go and view the logs, they kind of show up and they open up into Notepad and they look like kind of ugly. So SCCM, once you do the installation of it, there is a utility that is built in. It's called CM Trace. That is a really awesome utility to view the logs. You could do a lot with it, but the logs are much easy to view in that. And what you could do is just simply go to the installation of SCCM wherever you have it. If you followed my previous videos, you would have it in C, program files, and the CM trace is going to be SMS_CCM. Just go into that folder, search for CM trace .exe, double click it, and try to open a log with it. This should have been actually, this should have prompted me to open the log with it, but for some reason on this machine I believe I opened it before. What basically happens is like you get a little pop-up that says that do you want to read all of the future logs with this utility, and all you do is click yes. But just in case if you don't have that message pop in, then the other way around, which you could see it right now, you could just simply go and browse to that. Let me back up a little bit. Try to open the log. Basically look for one log file, right click it, and click open with, and then check more apps, and you need to go and look for another app on this PC, and now browse to that executable. So basically all you are trying to do is trying to give the file association to logs that they open up all the time with the CM trace. And then I'm just going to select it, and always use this app to open log files. Click OK, click alright. So now anytime whenever I'm going to open the logs, they should always open with the CM trace. And you would notice that they look much more easier, much manageable. And the other great part about looking into the logs is that now if you open the log in the notepad, it does not update in a real time. But if you open the log in the CM trace, and let's say that it's still being written, you are going to see those entries start coming over. Instead of if it was open with the notepad, you would have to go back and keep refreshing or keep closing and opening it. So this just was a little extra tip that I wanted to give you guys. Sorry, it just the way it started out, it kind of went and got off track, but I hope that you get the idea. So let's get back to what I had started here. So I'm going to launch Configuration Manager, and I repeat, if you have not completed certain steps that are in part 3 of this series, you would not be able to complete it successfully. So please make sure and go watch that video, and you could click on the link above here. It's going to pop up shortly. Just click that one and it should take you to that video, and I'm going to leave the link to that video in the description of this video too. So click launch SCCM, click administration, site configuration, site, right click and do add site system rules. Leave everything default. If you are following along all of my videos, you just leave everything default. You should have your domain which we created in the past videos. Next. We are not going to set up any kind of a proxy here, so click next and check software update point. Click next. So you should be on already. If you are following along, you should be already on 2016. So you want to check WSUS configure to use port 8530 and allow internet only client connection. For this lab purpose, that's the one that you will go for. Click next. Leave everything default. Click next. Everything default. Click next. Enable synchronization on a schedule, and here what you want to do is you want to set up where it occurs every first Tuesday of every month. First Tuesday. Okay, and then you also want to check alert when synchronization failed. So this way, if it has failed, you would know, and you are going to see alerts in the alerts area under the monitoring. And it's a very good. You always need to do this one, even in production environment too, just in case you don't want to miss it. Basically, that if something is failing. Next. Don't expire the superseded software updates until software update is superseded for a specific period. I would do for a month, because if you do 3 months, it just gets very, very crazy. And you also want to check this mark here, run WSUS cleanup after synchronization. What it does, that any kind of updates that have superseded, it would just go and clean them. Click next. Leave everything default. Click next. Here, this first round, uncheck everything. And I will configure this later in this video, and there is a reasoning behind it too. So you just want to uncheck everything here. Products, as much as that you might want to check certain things, don't worry about anything, uncheck everything, and we will configure this one down the road, like within this video. Next, you could select the language here if you like, the ones that you are interested. I am only interested in English, so I'm just going to leave that only. I'm not interested in all of the other ones. Only English for me. Click next. So it will give you the summary, what you are doing. Kind of go over it. Click next. And this would start configuring WSUS. Everything is all green. If you see any kind of error messages, then obviously based on the error message, you would need to address that. If you cannot figure out yourself, you could also leave the comment in the comment section of this video, and I will try my best to help you. Close. And what you want to do is then you want to go and verify if the configuration is successful. There is a log that it creates. It's in C program files, Microsoft Configuration Manager, and logs, and the name of the log is WCM. You see, this is what I was saying earlier, that the CM trace is good for whereas the software is writing the log, you are gonna start seeing it's gonna get updated. It can take some time, just a little time. As you can see, is still chugging through. Basically, what it's trying to do is that it's just trying to go and sync all of the categories that are selected during the installation process, and also trying to communicate with the Windows update services of this machine, the one that got installed in the part 3 of this series, part 3 video of this series. So the reason why I had not checked all of those during the specification is so that SCCM can successfully communicate with Windows services and WSUS. Once it's done, then I'll go back and add whatever the updates that I need, which I'll show you shortly. This can take about, depending on the speed, several minutes. So I'm just gonna pause it and I'll be back shortly. Alright, so it took, on my machine, it took about 20 minutes or so, I believe. Let's see, if we were here, 6:27. Yeah, about give or take 20 minutes. So the configuration, as you can see in the log, it completed successfully. So I'm just gonna close this log and this one to here. Now go back to the SCCM and click on software library, software updates, select software updates, and synchronize software updates. So what basically is going to do is all of those categories that were there, and by default I have noticed that SCCM does not know all of the categories. So I'm just going to run kind of one without anything so that it's successful. It can connect to WSUS successfully and synchronize it without actually going and grabbing all of the patches. And then in the second run, I will just go and check the categories, the one that I'm interested in, so that it can come and it could bring those softwares on, those updates only. So synchronize it, click sync, yes. It should go pretty quick though, because there is really nothing in it. You could look at the logs for it. The log for that one is going to be C Windows, C program files, Microsoft logs, and the name of the log is WSync Manager. So it just did started. Just gonna wait for a little bit for it to complete. While he's doing it, I'm just gonna look at something. I need to check something real quick here. All right, still going through, but we are seeing two warnings here, and they are expected. And this is the one of the reason I had not selected any kind of specifications during my configuration, because right now request filter does not contain any known classifications. That is expected. So we're just gonna wait once this is finished, and then I will just go and set up the classifications again and run the resync, and that should bring me only the classifications, the one that I am really interested in. sync has been completed. So I'm just going to go back into administration. This is where I'm going to define those classifications, and right click. I'm sorry, I just had a long day and I'm so tired. Administration, select sites, right click on the site. You should have only one. Right click it and then go to configure site component, software update point. Products, and here look for Windows. Go to all the way to down Windows. So I'm interested only in two, which is Windows 10 and Windows 7 too, because I just do want to show some videos down the road, and Windows 8 is already selected, so that's good. And then you could do apply, go to classifications. I want the critical updates, definition, basically everything but tools and upgrades. Click apply. And these things might be a little bit different in a production environment too, how you want to set it up. So just click apply on that. Click on right. Okay. And once you go through, then I'm just gonna go back and start another sync. So go back to software library, just like the way we did before, and click synchronize. So this time it will go and it would start grabbing the updates, and once that sync is completed, we're gonna see them here. This can potentially take about an hour, maybe more than that. So I would pause and I'll come back once the sync is completed. And the way to know that one is basically just go back into this wsync manager.log and just see once it shows that it was completed. I'm just gonna pause and I'll be back in about an hour. Thank you. All right, so the sync has completed, as you could see in the logs. It took several hours for it to complete. And I'm sorry, I'm sure you're gonna see the date has changed here. Actually, I wind up going to the beach the next morning, which was 8/2, August 2nd. And I just came back last night. So anyhow, this you could see has been completed, and if you go and look at the SCCM, you could see all of the updates that are available, and that has not superseded for a month. They are now in the database, but that does not mean that they are downloaded or deployed. They're just basically SCCM knows now what dates, what updates are available to it. And if we want to download them and then deploy them, we could do that. So I'm gonna conclude this video with this. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to download the updates, and then also how to group them. So that, let's say if I just want to deploy only Microsoft Windows 10 updates, and how I can group them, and if I want to group Office updates separately, and such kind of sort of things like that. Also, in the next video, I'm going to show you how to deploy automatic deployments too. So we'll I'll show you how to create automatic deployment rules so that every time, whenever any updates are available, if they meet those criteria, the rules that are set up in the automatic deployment rules, it would automatically start deploying. It's very handy tool. You're gonna love it, especially when it comes to updates and getting them tested and all that stuff. With this, I'm gonna conclude this tutorial. I hope that you liked it. If you did not, please make sure to leave the comment so that I can improve. Your feedback is very important to me, and it would be very helpful for the others too. I love the criticism if it's healthy way. Thank you so much, wherever you are. Have a wonderful evening. Peace.